This is my story. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I went from being in $62,000 of debt to generating over $4 million online. But keep in mind, I come from a small cow town in New Zealand. My family was poor. I went to a low quality school and I had to work multiple minimum wage jobs since I was 13 years old. I even remember getting put down into the class for low intelligence kids, so I definitely didn't have brains and money working for me to get to where I am today, where I have businesses generating millions of dollars online. I can buy the things I want, I can do whatever I want, and frankly at this point I could choose to never work again if I wanted. So my goal in this video though is to give you that one thing, that one moment that transformed me from point A to point B, because I truly believe that transformation is what led to all of the success I have today. So you're going to walk away with that number one thing that's going to impact your life in hopefully a similar way to mine if you give yourself a few minutes to watch all the way until the end of this video, okay? Now, you might be asking yourself right now how I got into $62,000 of debt, right? Well, I did manage to escape that small cow town when at age 18, I moved to the big city in Wellington, New Zealand to study business. I thought going the corporate path was the right way to go. If I wanted to get out of being poor, not being able to afford anything, I needed to work long hours in a cubicle pushing papers, right? Now, did I mention I was poor, right? So I had to take out a $62,000 student loan to be able to pay for my degree. So after finishing university, I was in $62,000 of crippling debt. I started applying for jobs and got rejection letter after rejection letter because I wasn't exactly the smartest person in class. And at this point, I felt pretty hopeless with all of that debt piling up, a useless degree that I couldn't find a job with. So I ended up working part-time in a call center for a lot longer than I had planned on, getting yelled at by a boss who I'm pretty sure was addicted to cocaine. And I've got to tell you, this was definitely one of the lowest points in my life at that stage, okay? I mean, I was 22 years old, which in today's age where, you must become a billionaire at 16 years old or you're a complete failure is pretty ancient. So one day my boss yelled at me for the last time. I snapped. I had to find a way out of this hole, and I went and searched how to make money online. And long story short, I found a very expensive $5,000 course and put it on my credit card. And keep in mind, this was a very stupid thing to do. My net worth at that time was already negative $62,000, and I was barely making enough at my job to handle my expenses, okay? So I wouldn't recommend anyone do something like that, but this was really the last straw for me. I was committed to making something happen, so I implemented that course, built my website, found suppliers, and built everything in about 2 months. Then I launched my marketing, and 1 month later, I got my very first $1,000 sale. It was the greatest feeling I've ever experienced and the greatest sale that I got to this day. From there, I quickly scaled that business to the point that I was making $10,000 per month consistently. I quit my job in the call center to focus fully on the business, and 1 year later, I said goodbye to my old life and began traveling the world full-time with a fully automated business. Fast forward a few years later, I had multiple businesses selling animated videos, graphic design, Facebook advertising, and a lot more. I got to the point, my net worth was over $1 million, and I began my YouTube channel, which led to the coaching and building additional income streams to the point where I had affiliate income, YouTube income, drop servicing income, stock income, and much more. And today, I've generated more than $4 million online, and I've been traveling the world full time since 2017. But more importantly, is I've helped countless people from all walks of life around the world do the same. Now, here's the one thing that I believe led to this transformation. So what did I do to get the income to attain freedom to live my dream life? How is that relevant to you? Well, here's exactly what I did, okay? You can see me here in 2015. I was in university, working in a call center, pissed and broke, and here's me in 2016, making over $10,000 per month, traveling the world with a completely automated business, funding my freedom. So what happened between here and there? It seems like before I was not a person capable of success, then suddenly I became that person, boom, it happened. Now, don't confuse this. I didn't become better at taking photos. These two images reflect the transformation of self that was required and must happen for anyone to get the same results. Because when you make this transition, you'll get pretty cool results as all of these people did. And the secret is all in that success point. I went from, years of being a broke student to hitting my goals pretty quickly, all because of figuring out what the success point was and how to hit it. Then once I figured it out, our students started getting results way faster than me over and over and over. So who you are controls your beliefs, decisions, actions, and success. But really think about this. Look at me working in the call center, making like $22,000 a year, below minimum wage. This was me. And my beliefs were I had no discipline, no willpower, no motivation, and no faith in myself, no belief that I could build a business. I thought business was like gambling, I thought you had to be a special person to be successful. I thought success is not likely for me. And I hung out mostly with losers and drunks, and I had no confidence in my model. I saw a few people out there building a business, but I didn't think I'd be able to achieve that. And because of those beliefs, here's the actions and decisions that I made. I was easily distracted, poor work habits, never bet on myself, was extremely skeptical, and halfway out of my business at all times. I didn't invest in my business or myself. I didn't go all in. I looked at bad sources and how the world worked, like those drunks I was hanging out with, and I simply would not invest in myself, even though I knew it could change or I knew it could work. What happened as a result? Nothing, right? I mean, the person I was kept me where I was because that was the person making the decisions. This guy right here, who I was, who you are today, is the person making the decisions. And what happens as a result? Decisions. I mean, the real result of decisions that this guy was making meant zero change for me from age 20 to 23. No real results. And this is what changed for me, okay? The whole point of this is so you don't have to hit this point, but I hit an extreme emotional breaking point. There was a point where I was working in the call center, going about my job, when some guy yelled at me for taking too many bathroom breaks or something, and I can't tell you how weird it was to be a 22-year-old being chastised by a 50-year-old guy working as a supervisor in a call center. It had nothing to do with how good at my job I was. I was productive, but I just thought, I can't do this for the next 30, 40 years of my life. Something has to change. I hit my breaking point and I thought, yep, I'm not spending the next 30, 40 years of my life living like this. And I was in massive pain and sadness, but it wasn't so much the call center. It's a good job to develop your communication skills, but it was the people I worked with, a very toxic, throw people under the bus work environment. Some were nice, but most of them were really nasty people, and I had to get out of there. I was in extreme fear and pain when suddenly overnight I had enough. This was the breaking point that instantly changed me, because that person could no longer survive. They had to die, and I had to turn into a completely different person at all costs. So I became Dylan 2.0, the person capable of making the right decisions because I had the right beliefs, I had extreme discipline and focus to win at all costs. And fully, focus on myself. I believe success is going to happen for me just like millions of people before me. Enough wasting time. I'm just going to focus on working my business, and if I do that, I'll get results. Success will happen if I just educate myself and do the work. And if I listen to successful people, then the business I'm working on that has worked for so many will work for me too. Those became my new beliefs. So do you see the night and day belief change there? The success point switch happened before making money or achieving results. My beliefs and the person making decisions changed instantly. And as a result of these new beliefs, my actions changed. And guess what? So did my results. Nothing distracted me from focusing on my business. I would always bet on myself, and it's the best bet in the world, right? I just, went all into my business with whatever extra time and money I had, basically nothing at the time. And I only listened to successful people. I just focused on my model, and that's it. I knew it would work, period. What was the result? Well, I achieved my first goal of $10,000 a month a few months in, and from there my business went to 5 figures, to 6 figures, and so on. How? Because the old me was stuck in the wrong beliefs and only capable of where I was, right? That's why so many people fail, and why the person you are is stuck right now probably. If you remain the person you are with those same beliefs and values, guess what? You're gonna stay where you are because you've got what you're capable of getting already. Who I became and who you must become is the only person capable of getting you success. The successful person who naturally has the beliefs and takes the right actions to get success. It has nothing to do with how much money you're making right now and everything to do with who you are. In the beginning, I was in $60,000 of debt making minimum wage. If the person you are right now doesn't want to be in the game, doesn't believe you can win the game, then this is a person who will never win any game, period. That's the number one reason people fail in building a business or anything in life, because think about it. Have you ever seen a person like that achieve success? You know, approaching your business and life without the belief that you can succeed means that you won't take the actions that would make you succeed. And that's a cold hard fact. And you know, so right now, you really need to think about who you want to be in 2 years from now. Picture the person who has achieved all of the financial and material success that you want. What type of house do you live in? What type of car do you drive? You know, how much free time do you have in life? How much do you work? How much do you spend time playing? You know, what do you do for fun with your extra free time? How much money do you make? What does your business look like? How do you dress? How do people view you? Think about that really hard and have a vision in your head. You know, it doesn't need to be super exact, but once you've done this exercise a lot, you can get super exact, and that's how you get closer and closer to it. But think about your vision overall right now and comment that vision below this video. Now, you need to realize one thing about everything I just talked about, okay? Who you are is defined by your beliefs. What you have is the result of those beliefs. What you have doesn't define who you are. Who you are is getting the results. It means that who you are defines what you have. So Elon Musk isn't Elon Musk because he has a rocket ship. Elon Musk is Elon Musk because of his attitude and who he is, his action-taking mentality, because he believes in himself so much that he's willing to risk it all. He knows that he will succeed. He bets on himself and never gives up. And as a result, he's changing the world and sending rocket ships into space. Beyonce isn't Beyonce because she has a lot of cool houses and a private jet. It's because she has the mindset of a queen, and a queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is another stepping stone to greatness. It's because of who the person is. And as a result of her beliefs, decisions, and actions, she has cool stuff like a private jet. I mean, all of these things that you envision for yourself is an outcome of who you are. So you have to become that person today. And now, knowing that, I want you to think about that person you just viewed yourself as becoming. Because the problem is, you need to be this person right now to be successful. It has nothing to do with your current financial or personal situation or anything like that tangible. You simply must decide to be that person today if you want to get any success. And the key is, you'll never get success remaining like you are now, because if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you're getting, right? You know, I remained the old, unsuccessful me, procrastinating for 2 years before finally making the decision to become the person capable of making the successful me decisions that allowed me to build my dream business and, you know, achieve freedom. So 2 years of pain could have been avoided by just making the decision sooner. So you must always keep this key in your mind. Who you are now will get you more of what you have now. Achieving your dream life, relationships, money, fulfillment, whatever, requires envisioning who the person is that has what you want and being that person now by making the decisions that they would make without wasting any more time, because you're not going to gradually become them. Trust me, you know, I thought that, and it took me many years before realizing. So you might not have the skills, results, or money coming in now, but you need to become the person capable of that success before it can happen. The key is realizing you are already that person. You just need to start being that person, making the decisions they would make instead of the decisions that you've been making. Because let's be honest, you already know what the correct decisions are, right? You know to go to the gym instead of eating pizza. You know to work on the project instead of watching Netflix. The decisions this person here was making wouldn't get results because they kept making bad decisions, you know, falling back to the initial situation. But once they decided and became the person that they wanted to be, adopted the correct beliefs, and started taking the right actions, by making the right decisions, they were able to achieve success. And that's the number one lesson that I want you to take from my story. That's the reason that I was able to go from $62,000 of debt to generating over $4 million online fairly quickly. I simply had a success point where I adapted the beliefs of a successful person, which means I started taking the actions of a successful person and got the results of a successful person. We all have this capacity inside of us. We just need to make the right decisions to take us in the right direction. Now listen, here's 3 quick things that will help you make money online. First, remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell right now, and comment below any questions you have for me. Check out the free training in the description below this video. Next, check out this video you see on screen to go deeper. See you in the next video.